Welcome back. Mr. Voster's here. We are creating shapes in the OnShape design software. So we already made a couple of simple blocks in our Part Studio. We're going to kick it up a notch in difficulty, and we'll try making one of these blocks in this image. So let's maybe pick one. Let's do this medium difficulty one here. Looks like a set of stairs with a kind of notch cut out of it in the back. So first thing I'm thinking we're going to need to do is create this step profile in a sketch, and then we're going to need to extrude it out. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to create a new tab with a new Part Studio. We'll rename it. We'll do medium difficulty step block. We're going to create a sketch on the front plane. We'll hide the others. We're going to orient our cube so that we're looking at the front plane. And then we're going to need to get some dimensions on it before we start here. So it looks like it's 1, 2, 3, 4 long. That's just going to go up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 2. So let's make each square or each grid space in here. Let's make it a 1/4 inch. So if it's 4 wide, we're going to have a length of 4 here, or length of 1 inch here. It'll go up a 1/4 inch, over a 1/4 inch, up a 1/4 inch, over a 1/4 inch, up a 1/4 inch, and then over a 1/2 inch. And then it'll go down 1, 2, 3 spaces. So it'll go down 3/4 of an inch. So let's try to sketch that out. We're going to need to use our line tool. We'll start at the origin. And let's just start by making our rough shape. We can go back and dimension it in a sec. I think just about got it. Looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and dimension it. We said this was going to be 1 inch. So we may run into some trouble, but we'll see. Looks like it's good. It started to kind of adjust the shape of everything based on that first dimension. So this was going to be 0.25. This one will be 0.25. This step here was going to be 0.25. Here is 0.25 as well. This step is 0.25. And then this one was 0.5, which that's already dimensioned. So we did get an error because it said it could not be solved. And the reason is I kind of over-dimensioned it. So let's just undo that last dimension, and now it should be happy. We can just delete that. All right. Let's make these dimensions look a little bit prettier. I'm just going to drag some of these kind of out of the way. That looks a little better. Get it nice and centered. Again, not a big deal. It's not going to affect your drawing, but I'm going to do it anyways. So we've got everything dimensioned. I think we're ready to click the green check. Let's go back to our isometric so we can see as we extrude it that it's actually adding some depth. So this one's going to have a depth of 1, 2, 3 squares. So that'll be 3/4 of an inch. And we're going to extrude this. We'll do 0.75. Enter. Looks good. We can click the green check. All right, we're really close. We just need to add this little notch here. So what we're going to be able to do is create a sketch. Instead of selecting top, front, or right, and we could select top, but just for the purpose of showing you something new, I'm going to click the top of our sketch here. Notice the top of the stairs is actually highlighting or being surrounded in yellow, orange, whatever color that is. We're going to click there. So now it made a sketch, and if I kind of rotate, you can see that sketch plane is parallel with the top of our stairs, which is exactly what we want. So we'll orient to our top face. We're kind of looking at it straight on. And then we're going to try to make the notch right here. So a little tricky to make this, and we're going to do our best. So we want it to be exactly 1/4 of an inch up. It's going to be 1/4 of an inch wide, and then there's going to be 1/4 of an inch here. It's going to be 1/4 of an inch in width. So for now, let's just make it along this edge. We'll make it horizontal, vertical, and then we'll go back horizontal again. We're also going to connect it. So we'll close that, make a full rectangle. It's really going to be a square in the end. So we're going to have to dimension a few different things. So we want from here to here to be 0.25. So notice what I had to do. I'm going to undo just so you can see that again. When I'm dimensioning, I had to click here, and then I clicked this bottom face as well. So the distance between those two is going to be 0.25. This width is going to be 0.25. We said this was going to be 0.25. And this one already should match this one, so we don't have to dimension that. Let's just double check that this one to here is 0.25. Looks like it is. So I'm going to hit escape. Notice how that dimension is kind of like a gray. We're just going to delete because it's really not necessary. And if we try to type something in, it's going to say cannot solve. So don't over dimension your drawings. Anyways, we are done with our sketch. We can click the green check. So if I go back to my isometric, you can see now we have this little square sitting on top of our stairs. If we hit extrude and click there, it's going to try to extrude it up an inch. We do not want that. We want to actually remove that material in the opposite direction. So if I click the arrow here, it's going to flip it around. It's still going to try to add some material. It's going to try to have a little piece sticking out of the bottom there. We want to actually switch our extrude to be, instead of adding material, we're going to try to remove. So you just need to click this remove option. Notice now it's kind of transparent. You can see it looks like it's cutting away that space. So you can just have it go down blindly 1 inch. That's going to be more than enough to cut all the way through. Or you can use the option called up to face. And we can just have it go all the way to our bottom face so it doesn't cut any extra. Again, does not really make a difference for this one if you just want to do a blind extrusion, removing 1 inch, 2 inches. As long as it goes all the way through, you should be good. I'm just showing you this new thing. You can have it go up to a certain face of your block. So that's that. We can click our green check, and it looks like we have our block. So it should look pretty much identical to that one. Hit Shift 7, we'll rotate it a little bit more, and it looks pretty good. So that's your medium difficulty step block. You're going to want to use that remove feature in extrude to achieve a lot of these. So if you're trying to do, let's say this one, you're going to make a sort of T shape, extrude it out, and then you're going to cut away this little notch back here. This one, same thing. This one actually is even easier. You should be able to just create this profile, extrude that out. This one's going to be very similar to this one. I'm just going to cut away a little notch in the back. Some of these ones are going to be a little more complex. So if you're feeling bold, go ahead and try one of these. Otherwise, just stick to the medium blocks and see if you can do one of those on your own. All right, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.